David Menzies for Rebel News here in Toronto. Well, folks, I'm at Trinity Bellwoods Park, and standing next to me is Richard Paradiso, who was at the park back on April 18th. He was sitting on that bench. Well, will you hear this story, folks? He was told to get off the bench, and Richard complied. He got off the bench, he exited the park, he stood here on a public laneway, and can you believe it? Bylaw still gave him one of those $880 tickets. Just will you hear this story?
I was sitting on that bench on the left side, facing the sun. It was around 5 or 6 to try to get a little vitamin D. And I had to answer a call before I went home after shopping. I turned around like this, and someone was speaking to me, the driver of the pickup truck.
And this turned out to be a bylaw officer then,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah. He says, you can't sit on the park bench. I go, really? Okay. Then I point to the grass. Can I stand on the grass? Can I be here? Can I have those benches? I just asked for a situation. Yeah. And that was the end of the conversation.
And it should be noted, this wasn't a confrontational conversation. You were literally just asking questions what you could and could not do in the park, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Then I walked back to the bench, retrieved my gloves, and I came back to my bike here.
Not only are you not on the bench at this point, you're not even on the parkland. You're on a laneway.
True. That's right. Next, they drove up to here on front of that tree. They both get out, a little too close for comfort. He says, I have to ask you for your ID. No.
And you complied.
Well, of course. Well, not of course, but I did. And not only that, I actually took out my driver's license and gave it to him. They went back into the truck, come back out, and he says, I have to issue a ticket. I go, you do? Do you? Look like that.
Yep.
And he goes, I gave you a caution. You didn't comply. And I go, I did not sit back on that bench, and you weren't clear to me. I was trying to investigate, so I just got off the park.
Yeah.
And I'm not seeing any, and I have video of this as well, like photos. There's no caution tape, no signs, nothing. And remember, I'm cooperative here. No criminal record, a law-abiding citizen taxpayer. After I said, you do not, I give you the opportunity to not give me a ticket, he goes, why did you take a photo of me? I go, I just took a picture of the park.
But more to the point, once they were finding you, you were standing beside your motorcycle having a cell phone conversation on a public laneway. You're not in the park. What in the world is the violation? So, Richard, I can tell you, I'm sure our viewers feel that this too is an egregious case. And what we've done is we've reached out to our fantastic legal of a lawyer, that's Sam Goldstein, and he's going to take on your case, and we are going to crowdfund the legal fees. So not only do you not have to worry about that $880, but you won't have to pay a single cent. We're going to crowdfund it. We're going to seek justice for this miscarriage of justice. What do you think about that, Richard?
I want to commend you and what you represent, because I wasn't so familiar with you guys after I was doing an internet search for some help with this egregious situation. Commend you for the work you're doing. This is wonderful. I mean this, I don't know much about what else you're doing, but this is good work. I did read your About page, and it was correct. So that's when I sent it in. And so that's great. Anybody helping you do this, not just helping me. I'm not just helping myself here.
Well, folks, I'm now with our superb criminal lawyer, Sam Goldstein, who is going to be taking on the case of Richard Paradiso. And Sam, when I met with Richard, I literally couldn't believe my ears regarding his case. He seems to be getting a ticket for complying with bylaw. He got off the park bench, he got off the park, he went onto a public street, and they still issued him a ticket, and he was by himself. Sam, what are you going to do for Richard Paradiso?
Well, again, I think, as I said in other cases, another example, I think, where the bylaw officers are enforcing this issue as one of law and order, rather a really public health welfare type issue. And really what strikes home in this one to me is the fact that he's engaging with the officers, and yet they still try and explain to him, and yet they're just not interested in what he has to say. And again, as I said before, I think because it's particularly a City of Toronto issue, is I think our mayor, John Tory, is really sending out the wrong message to these bylaw officers that they should be treating everything as law and enforcement, where it's public welfare.
Well, there you have it, folks. As you saw, Richard Paradiso is essentially getting a ticket for complying with bylaw. It is just off the charts crazy. It's made even more bizarre by the fact that just a few days ago, guess what? The City of Toronto announced they are not going to sic bylaw officers on people that are sitting on park benches like this one and maintaining social distancing. And of course, Richard was maintaining social distancing because there was no one else around. I mean, the biggest safety infraction was his encounter with the two bylaw officers. In any event, I think it's only fitting, or perhaps ironic, that this park bench is located behind this baseball diamond, because I'm sure if the City of Toronto is going to fight this, wow, they're going to strike out swinging. For Rebel News, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey folks, have you been unjustly treated by bylaw or law enforcement in regard to these COVID-19 safety precaution tickets? Well, if you have, please tell us your story. Go to fightthefines.com. That's fightthefines.com. And if we feel that your story has merit, we will go to bat for you. We will hire a lawyer, pay your legal fees, crowdfund it so that we can get some justice for you. And folks, if you don't have a story to tell, but you'd like to help us crowdfund this very important mission we're on, please, again, go to fightthefines.com, and if you're able to, make a donation. Thank you.